what's the type of success that companies are looking for to gain out of their sales guys?
Well,
what, like metric wise, look, we do not chase storms, right? We are not storm restorators. We know how to do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we know how to go into a market and knock on doors and hopefully get business, right?
Right.
We can do that. I'm looking to make that better, but I don't have a solid understanding of the structures, the pay structures that are used out there that that other people are using. What are some goals, or what do you hope your sales guys? For us to continue to grow our business, we have to have some metrics of goals we want to hit. What is realistic and what's bullshit?
Okay, so here are some basic numbers, and again, this can change a little bit region to region based on price per square, average house size, roof size, pitch, things like that. So the average person, this is just the industry average. The average salesperson probably does about $350,000 a year. So that's roughly 35 jobs. You're going to have some sales guys that do $1 million. You're going to have some guys that only do 15 roofs the whole year, and that they're happy. They live a simple life, and that's all they need. So that's kind of like what you could bank on, though, is if you said, okay, to be conservative and safe, if we wanted to do $5 million, you can divide that by 350,000. That's how many people you would need to keep. Does that make sense? Then the average claim size typically is roughly 10 grand. Depending on what part of the country, like up in Michigan, you guys probably have more like a $15,000 average, because I know you got a lot of 2-story steeper. There's ice and water shield, all kinds of stuff that some of the southern states don't have, like Texas. Okay. Other than that, like, here's the thing, and again, shameless sales plug here a little bit, but one thing that I've done in the new hires training and in the recruiting machine really is the way that I have you guys present the expectations of the averages is considerably higher than probably what the real averages are. And the reason I do that is because we're building the mindset of these salesmen. So they think it's normal to do 10 to 20 inspections a week, to set up that many. And so there's like, and we make it look so normal. Like, listen, guys, if you do 20 inspections a week, I mean, that's like, 25, 30 hours. Like, it's not even full time. And they're like, oh yeah, okay. And then so it's kind of funny actually, but that actually works. Like, getting them to believe that the averages are higher and then giving them the tools to succeed, they'll just kind of naturally fulfill those expectations.
Sure.
Right? So that's kind of part of the program. And the other thing is, as far as pay, I don't want to get away from that. So I actually have some pretty sophisticated commission structures and a base pay system that doesn't allow you to hemorrhage money out for the sake of saying you offer secure pay. Here's one of the problems. A lot of contractors in this business, because when you're talking about doing hail claims, sometimes you don't see your first check for 6 weeks. Like, it depends on how fast the insurance company pays, how fast the job gets done and collected. Some salesmen start and they don't see money for a month or 6 weeks, right? So a lot of business owners will just say, well, I'll pay you, let's say $300 or $400 a week, so you have gas, you can pay your bills until you catch up. Well, let's say you just hired 8 people and you're paying them each $300 a week for a month, and for some reason 5 of them quit. You just wasted a bunch of money and you got nothing back out of it, right? Yep. So what I teach in my recruiting system, it's so brilliant, but what I teach is, and again, it's Cutco. I can't take all the credit for it. Is they get paid as new people. We advertise that they get paid per inspection, whether there's damage or not, whether they sign it or not, does not matter. So we say, look, if you do, so they do the math and they go, oh, okay, let's say I'm getting paid $50 an inspection. It's like an hour-long inspection. If I do 10 inspections a week, I'm getting paid like $500. So what they hear that, and they hear $50 an hour, right? That's how most people think. So they get super excited, and it's like 10 inspections. Who can't do 10 inspections? So they go out and they do that. But then what it does is it rolls over, and if they stay, what they get paid whichever is higher, their commission or their base pay. So it also makes it really easy to weed people out, because if you've got Tim over here that you just hired, he's done 25 inspections, but he's only signed 1 deal, we can probably let Tim go. Tim might not be the right guy, okay? So, but then, of course, we want to get them on commission. That's really just a safety blanket for like the first 2 or 3 weeks. Honestly, you shouldn't really be using it longer than that. There's 2 different ways that most companies pay commission. One is a percentage of the profit, and that's usually typically going to be anywhere from 25 to 50%. Okay, so let's say you have a $10,000 job with a 30% profit margin.
I understand.
Okay, perfect, great.
Yep.
Okay,
I'll save you some lung space.
Thank you for doing that. I'm used to having to just explain. You never know who you're talking to. So, and then the second version is, of course, you've got the percentage of the gross. So that might be anywhere from 8 to 15%. Okay.
Yep.
The higher ends, like 15% of the gross, 50% of the profit, are usually your salesmen have more responsibilities in that case. Like they're running their jobs cradle to grave. They're doing everything. But you also, I don't really like the flat rate because the flat rate doesn't create any room for incentive. You can't dangle a carrot, and people get fat, happy, and lazy. So
and they just sell a bunch of small, shitty jobs, the easy ones.
Yeah, like we want them to be constantly every month. So like we want them to constantly be chasing the carrot. And the system that I have, it's in a totally different program. It's called the Sales Team Management Program, and it's all about driving sales, managing your sales guys, stuff like that. That has like my different bonus structures, incentive structures, and stuff like that for commission. And we really see great results from you implementing that method.